Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to find the hidden stories in the numbers. And today we've got a report from ChoiceOne Financial Services Incorporated, and let me tell you, it is a packed one with some forward-looking information that might tickle your investor senses. So what is the big deal here? Well, ChoiceOne is basically dropping a presentation for investors that covers their game plan and what they're seeing ahead. Think of it as a peek behind the curtain as they get ready to chat with people who might want to invest in them. ChoiceOne Financial Services Inc. Registrant scroll. Alright, so at the top we see the usual official stuff. ChoiceOne Financial Services Incorporated is clearly labelled as the registrant, which is just a fancy way of saying they are the company filing this document. It is a requirement for companies to keep the public informed about what is going on. Now this part is interesting. It tells us exactly what kind of shares the company has publicly traded. For ChoiceOne, it is their common stock trading under the ticker symbol COFs on the Nasdaq Capital Market. This is the main way people like you and me can buy and sell ownership in the company. This section really gets to the heart of why this report is being filed today. It says ChoiceOne Financial Services Incorporated is providing investor presentation materials for meetings starting on the 4th of February 2026. This means they are actively engaging with investors to share their vision and presumably their financial health and future prospects. It is important to note this information is being furnished, not filed, meaning it is for informational purposes and not subject to the same strict review as formally filed financial statements. And here it is, the star of the show, Exhibit 99.1, the ChoiceOne Financial Services Incorporated Investor Presentation. This is where you'll find the juicy details about their strategy, their performance, and what they expect in the future. Since this is the primary document they are sharing, and it is marked for investor meetings, it is likely filled with performance highlights and forward-looking statements. While the actual content of the investor presentation isn't included in this specific filing, we can deduce its purpose from the accompanying text. Companies typically use these presentations to communicate key financial results, recent achievements, strategic initiatives, and future outlook to potential and existing investors. It is their opportunity to put their best foot forward and answer any burning questions that might arise. When we see this kind of filing, it's typically a sign that management is actively trying to shape the market's perception of the company, often leading up to earnings calls or major corporate events. And finally, we have the signatures. This shows who is officially authorizing this report on behalf of ChoiceOne Financial Services Incorporated. Here we see Adam J. Greenland, its Chief Financial Officer and Treasurer, signing off. This indicates that the information presented has been reviewed and approved by key financial leadership within the company. Now let's talk about what this filing really means. Think of it like this: if a company is about to go on a roadshow to talk to investors, it is because they have something significant to share. This could be great news about future growth, or it could be a way to explain a challenging situation. The fact that they are releasing an investor presentation right on the 4th of February 2026 tells us they are trying to get ahead of the conversation. They want to present their narrative their way before any questions or speculation start. In the world of corporate finance, presentations like this are crucial. They're not just about numbers, they're about storytelling. They distill complex financial data into key messages that investors can understand and act on. We need to look for the underlying story. Is it one of consistent growth, innovation, and strong financial management, or are there warning signs disguised in positive language? For ChoiceOne Financial Services Incorporated, this filing is a signal that they are actively managing their investor relations and likely preparing for or in the midst of important discussions about their business future and performance with the investment community. It is their chance to communicate their value proposition and strategic direction directly. So what is my take on this? Well, without seeing the actual presentation, we're looking at the framework, not the details. But this is a standard practice for companies looking to manage their investor communications effectively. They are setting the stage for conversations about their business, essentially giving their side of the story. The key for any investor will be to critically examine the presentation itself when it becomes available. Always ask yourself, does the story hold up against the numbers? Does it align with broader economic trends? And how does it compare to their peers? A company's narrative is powerful, but it needs to be grounded in reality. Alright, that is our quick decode of this ChoiceOne Financial Services Incorporated filing. What are your thoughts on how companies communicate with investors through these types of documents? Drop your insights in the comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. And don't forget to join our Discord community, linked in the description for even more discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next decode.